All right. Happy Friday, everybody. Friday 15th. Gosh, what a big week. We've had a ton of upper body this week, and actually the last 2 weeks, a lot of upper body. Again, we have mixed in legs and abs and obliques and stuff like that. Today, I thought we could crank up the diet a little bit, get a little bit sweaty, a little bit of a work day, minimal upper body, just a touch, just to not do just legs. We'll have lots of exertion and some wall sits and planks and those things. So let's turn those brains on for a nice, good day today. But like usual, we need to get warm and loose, and not to shock you too much, but we're gonna have our standing scissors to start this thing off. So take your time. I know you just got out of bed, and you're gonna lengthen all those muscles that have been shortened and relaxed over the evening, right, of sleeping. And it's what you sit on, so they're lengthened and unused all day long if you have the office job. So hamstrings, glutes, lower back, 10 standing scissors, right? You're jumping right into your mobility. 10 standing runners. Runners is a mobility exercise. Spine, lots of vertebrae there. Hips, knees, ankles, a lot of movement on your standing runners. And again, most of you guys, right, just got out of bed somewhat recently. Let's move our bodies. Jack LaLanne's very, very common movement for us. And I've been touching on it a lot lately, the width of your feet. Play around with it. Narrower feet goes down the hamstrings, but the back would inhibit you, the back flexibility. Wider feet, more up the hamstrings. Don't get me wrong, your back can always inhibit the hamstring stretch, but play around your feet with. After your 10 Jack LaLanne's, 10 regular squats. We'll be doing these later on today. We'll have a timed circuit of wall sits and squats. We'll have a timed circuit of planks and abs. We've got plenty of other work to do today. 10 regular squats, hips, glutes, eyes, thighs, right? All those words in your head to make it a smooth, safe exercise. Shake it off. 10 standing scissors for the second time. Lengthen those hamstrings and glutes and lower back. And use your arms, legs via your shoulders and hips. You are displacing weight, moving weight, and dynamic lengthening of those muscles. After your 10 standing scissors, you're on your 10 standing runners for that second time for your 10 standing runners. Elbows to knees, not knees to nose as you breathe and focus on those standing runners. And again, we've done these things. It should sound familiar. Jack LaLanne's for the second time. You gotta get big. Then you go down dynamic stretching. Breathe. 10 big Jack LaLanne's. Gotta get tall. That way you can consistently and effectively go down. 10 Jack LaLanne's. You'll shake it off. You'll go into your 10 wide squats. Your feet are wider than those regular squats. Your flexibility squats. Those hip muscles get lengthened more. Your vastus lateralis, outer quad, and semitendinosus, outer hamstring, they get used more as long as you maintain the angle of the wide squat. 10 wide squats, hips, glutes, eyes, thighs, posture, and breathe. One more of this loop. 10 standing scissors. Breathe and focus and work. We've done these things many, many, many times. 10 standing scissors. Elongate those posterior muscles. 10 standing runners. Mobility of hips and spine. Activate those anterior muscles. They're shortened a lot throughout the day. That's kind of the odd thing about activating a shortened muscle, so it can be lengthened, and then you need to lengthen a tight, unused muscle, right? 10 standing runners, 10 Jack LaLanne's. It's kind of backwards from what you think, right? Get out of your office chair and stretch your hamstrings. Well, you want to activate your hips and then stretch your hamstrings. Blah, 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 blah. 10 big jack lanes. Breathe and focus. Then you have those 10 narrow squats. Your feet are narrower than your regular squats. Your feet are inside the width of your hips. Mobility. Your joints tend to move a little bit more on your narrow squats. Hips, knees, ankle, spine. But your toes should be able to wiggle so you're not on your toes. You don't need to be directly on your heels either, but those things will happen. After those 10 narrow squats, you're going to shake it. We're going to do our quick agility, and now we're still getting warm. We have the high knees, butt kicks, jumping jacks separated by our lunges, right? So kind of the same rhythm. 10 high knees, running revolutions or walking reps. Remember, high knees is not necessarily running in place. Getting your knees and feet up. 10 high knees, 10 butt kicks. Right? I want to warm that body up. I want the heart rate to elevate a little bit. And then you're going to have those 10 jumping jacks. So these are going to be a little bit quicker than those mobility exercises. High knees, butt kicks is always running revolutions or walking reps. Jumping jacks or walking jacks. Set one will be your stationary reverse lunge. 10 total, alternating, 5 each leg. Stationary reverse lunge. Load that front non-moving leg. Pull yourself up with that front non-moving leg. Now we're getting nice and warm and loose. We have plenty of work to do. We'll be touching on all these items again later on. Round 2, right? Same agility. We'll have the different leg. Again, a different type of a warm-up. I mean, a little bit different. Same thing, done it differently. Your high knees for 10. Again, get your knees and feet up on your 10 high knees. Then you got your butt kicks. Get your knees and feet back on your 10 butt kicks. And then you got your jumping jacks or walking jacks. And they're just big. I don't like little ones, right? We're not in fit camp. I want the big ones. 10 jumping jacks. And then you're going to have your 10 alternating, balancing, lengthening, stiff-legged deadlifts. They are technically not straight-legged deadlifts. It's technically a dynamic lengthening exercise. You are lengthening a contracted muscle, hamstring, and glutes. The more weight you hold, the more contraction you're going to start with, the more you're going to think about the dynamic multi-joint, multi-muscle lengthening exercise. When you get down to those scissors, you're going to have the same loop one more time, and we'll be done with the warm-up. 10 high knees, 10 butt kicks, and 10 jumping jacks. One more loop. We're going to be utilizing these tools today. Again, kind of a elevated type of day. 10 high knees, 10 butt kicks, 10 jumping jacks, and then you're going to have the 10 stationary forward lunges to end this circuit. Breathe and focus. Breathe and focus on the 10 total alternating stationary forward lunges. Step, load, and push yourself back. The front leg is always the working leg. The front leg isn't always the moving leg. Breathe and focus on your 10 total alternating stationary forward lunges. Alrighty, we are going to do, and I know I didn't say we had a lot of up body, we have some up body because we can't do all legs. I mean, we can do all legs, but today's legs would be a little more invasive. So we just have a loop. Now, we're going to do 2 different loops. We've done these things before. So loop 1 is 100 total reps with 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, right? Then we're going to do a nice good old leg blast. That's more of the intent today. And then we're going to come back through and do these same muscles, different movements. So then we do have up body. Focus going to be on legs and later on core and stuff. Okay, you guys know what's happening. So, 20 chest press. You won't do it again today. You'll have your 20 lat pullovers. You won't do it again today, right? We're going to do these things once. I'm not looking for a lot of weight. right? We've done plenty of work. I didn't say go fast, but I want something a little bit lighter, right? I mean, I don't mind, touching the load that you can handle. All right, 20 chest press. You can do push-ups on anything, right? Hands can be on anything on push-up. You can do chest press laying on anything, ground, ball, bench. 20 chest. You won't do chest press again today, or this week for that matter. 20. Now, I don't mind it being lighter, but I denote that with how much load you can ultimately have and how much load you use this week. But you have done a lot of upper body. 20 chest pushing is smoother, tends to be a little quicker. So then we're going to combo the lat pullovers against smoother, a little longer. Remember, Wednesday we did our 2 movement exercises. So you did fly press and curl press and pullover press. So 1 of each today. 20 chest. Don't wait for me, but that's not a green light for cruising too fast. 20 lat pullovers. You won't do it again today. We're going to loosen up the upper body from all the work we've done. And we're going to crush our legs here soon. Don't you worry. On the lat pullovers again, I don't mind it being a little lighter if that's even an adjustment we can make. If it was heavy earlier this week, lighten it up. If it's the same weight, that's fine. Again, the chest press was smooth, tends to be a little quicker. The lat pullovers still smooth, tends to be a lot longer, okay? Which means after you do your lat pullovers, we're going to do 20 shoulder press. Again, shoulder press like the chest press, smooth, a little bit shorter in motion. Remember, I'm trying to be a little bit ahead of you, right? Chest push, lat pull over, shoulder push, sitting tall or standing tall on your shoulder push. Again, if you've done all the workouts the last week or 2, we've done a fair amount of body. 20 shoulder press, sitting tall or standing tall. Remember, I want to be a little bit ahead of you so you know what to do. Don't wait for me. I didn't talk about pace or tempo or fitness. Okay, I don't mind it being a little bit quicker. I'm afraid to say that to some people. After your shoulder press, you're going to do open wide biceps. Again, it tends to be a little harder and longer versus the hammer curl. Open wide bicep is a weaker, harder position. So make sure you slow it down. After the shoulder press, you've got your 20 open wide biceps. Again, we went with a smooth shoulder push per se to the nice long pull to the smooth shoulder push to then the harder, wider pull. Just so you know there's a rhyme and a reason. After your 10 open wide biceps, then you're going to be on your 10 dips or kickbacks. Again, tends to be a little bit smoother and shorter versus your later on triceps. We'll do overheads later on. And of course the pulling exercises. So just a nice little upper body loop. We'll do another one later on. Next part will be significant amount of legs. We'll have a significant amount of abs core. Blah, 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 blah. Again, finish this thing strong. Chest push, smooth. Lat pullover, long. Shoulder press, smooth. Open wide biceps, harder and weaker. Dips or kickbacks, again, shorter and smooth. Give me a little timer. When you are ready, and of course I want to be a little bit ahead of you because I got to talk about the circuit. We have done our wall sits before. I'm going to control the regular, wide, narrow. We'll talk about the more. But it's going to be 1 minute of wall sits. We're going to do 5 rounds. We'll talk about round 4 and 5 when you get there. You're going to have your regular squat, your wide squat, your narrow squat, your stationary reverse lunge, and your stationary forward lunge. So you're going to do 10 minutes of legs. That's why we did that body loop, okay? Now, here's the deal. It doesn't mean you're going to go immediately 1 minute to the 1 minute. You're going to have that couple seconds, right? Just a couple seconds between each. 1 minute wall sit. You are in regular position, and that word regular, your feet are shoulder width apart, like a regular squat, a regular wall sit, a regular leg press, a regular hip bridge. Okay, here we go. 1 minute in 3, 2, we'll make sure Malia gets her hair done. 1, and let's go. 1 minute. Now, during your wall sit, right, I would love it if the head stayed against the wall, unless you're harassing your daughter, sunshine, right? Hey, Aaron, pedal faster. You got your butt against the wall, your back against the wall. But the biggest thing for me is the 90-degree angle at your hips, your knees, and your ankles, unless you want to sneaky do some calves. Remember, the seated position, which Rob is about to do, right, works a different part of your calves. You've got your soleus, your underneath calf muscle, that supports load and impact. So hiking, biking, jumping, running, like it supports the impact, whereas the gastroc, the bubble, the one you can see, the one I get made fun of all the time for being small, is the aesthetic one, and it kind of helps you run faster and jump higher. And they look pretty. 2, 1, relax, breathe, shake it off. I would love it if you grab weight on your regular squats. 1 minute of regular squats in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 1 minute of regular squats. So you don't have to count your reps, and we can all stay together. Regular squats, preferred weight is up on your body. You can have 1 weight or 2 weight on your regular squats. If you do have a chance to be at the gym, right? Some people do this at the gym recorded. You know, stick this sucker on, put a bar on your shoulders if you want to, but we're looking to have 10 minutes of legs with just a subtle break in between each set. Breathe, focus. 1 minute, by nature, people tend to go a little quicker. So people will accidentally do more than 20, 25, and maybe even touch 30 if you're even counting. But a good 2.5 to 3 second rep would yield 20 to 25 reps. 3, 2, 1, relax, breathe, shake it off. Wide squats are starting in 5, 4, wide wall sits. 3, 2, 1, wide wall sits. This is 10 minutes of legs. So how we did today is why I intermixed some of that up body, because we're just going to crush the legs. You'll have done way more leg exercises and reps in other workouts. We're just going to do 10 consecutive minutes of them. Again, on the wide wall sit, like your wide squat, like your wide high and wide leg press, your wide hip bridge, your feet are just wider than your regular squats, preferably outside the width of your shoulders. And the wider you get, the more your toes should point out. So the wide squat, I'm probably about a 35-degree angle, right, give or take. And that helps your joints not get irritated. Back against the wall, butt against the wall. Again, 90-degree angle at your hips, knees, and ankle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. After those wide wall sits, you're on your wide squats. We're technically doing a superset. Uh-oh, here we go. Wide stance on your wide squats. The wall sit is an isometric contraction, the second greatest force you put on a muscle, a non-moving contraction. The wide squat is a concentric exercise, right? It's the shortening of muscle. Don't get me wrong, we have the lengthening too. Vastus lateralis, outer quad. Semitendinosus, outer hamstrings. Don't get me wrong, you're working everything, but you're going to feel those more glute minimus medius, your upper outer glutes. Again, your flexibility squat, as long as you are maintaining motion on your wide squats. Hips, glutes, eyes, thighs, hips, glutes, eyes, thighs, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe, relax, shake it off. Narrow squats, or narrow wall sit starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Narrow wall sit. So, you're now feeling the intent of this workout. We now have 10 minutes of legs, narrow wall sits. Feet are narrower than your regular squat. Feet are inside the width of your hips. And in fact, if you have the ability to touch your knees and feet, you will get more of that vastus medialis, your sartorius, your inner quads, right? Inner hamstring, semimembranosus. You're not doing the squat, so staying there is okay. When you do the narrow squat combo, I do want your feet just a little bit wider than touching. Back against the wall, butt against the wall. But again, the biggest thing is 90-degree angle at your hips, knees, ankles. Breathe, focus. You can do isometric calves if you want to. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and breathe. And you're onto your narrow squats. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's go. Narrow squats. Weight can be up under chin, on your shoulders, on your person, or they can be down outside your legs, right? You can have one weight or two weights. You would want to mix those up. Now, narrow wall sits, I like it if your knees and feet can be touching because of the massive activation you can have. But narrow wall sits or squats, keep going back and forth. I don't want your knees and feet touching because the internal, external rotation, your tibia onto your femur, which you can't feel, but it happens. And that way, mechanically, you're doing it safe. Hips, glutes, eyes, thighs, posture, breathe, focus on your 10. Sorry, 10. It's Friday. Bye, Rob. Have a good day. Narrow squats in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe. On the next minute, you can either do another regular wall sit, that's up to you, or you can do both hands, both legs on stiff-legged deadlifts. I'll let you choose between a wall sit or stiff-legged deadlifts. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. So wall sits is a great option as far as the isometric load, keeping those legs burning. If you need those legs to chill out for a second, you've got your stiff-legged deadlifts, aka RDLs. RDLs is a Romanian deadlift. Stiff-legged deadlift is the smoother version of that. RDLs requires a little more load. You create a little more power. Awesome if you want to call them RDLs. But there is a difference. This is a smoother version. Maybe I'll even say the slower version. You've got that long lengthening component, and then the RDL, you're going to create a little force and power because you're moving more load. Stiff-legged, the smoother version, and of course, safe. If you don't have load, you don't need to create a bunch of force. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Stationary reverse lunges. Again, holding weight is preferred. And 3, 2, 1, go. Stationary reverse lunges, whether you're holding one weight or two weights, like your narrow squats, you can mix up your hands, you can mix up the weight. If you did the stiff-legged deadlift or RDLs, this would be considered a superset. Hamstrings, glutes, work a little bit more on your stiff-leggeds and your stationary reverse lunges. And again, when you have done a workout like this, you just do so many consecutive legs. Let's just say you hit 20-ish on everything per se. You'll have done a lot of reps. We'll count the wall sits as a 20 rep, but it's not, right? In a short amount of time. Again, stationary versus lunges, keep going. Step, keep that front leg loaded. Load and pull yourself up. In 3, 2, 1, relax and breathe. And if you want it on the last one, you either have a wall sit, or you can go back to narrow squat, or you can lay on the ground on your hip bridges. Totally up to you. Last round in 3, 2, 1, go. Again, you have wall sit as an option for the last time. Second greatest force you put on a muscle. Narrow squats, you did some earlier, but again, if you don't want to do the wall sit, or you can be on the ground for those hip bridges, which I know are completely different. I get it. The combo will be your stationary forward lunges. Now, I'm not worried about those things, but stationary forward lunges is a lot of muscles. It can irritate joints sometimes, so be mindful on this last combo. And wall sits are great. Narrow wall sits would be repeated, but still good. Or hip bridges if you need to give those quads a break. Last round, we'll do the opposite movements on our upper body, so we rest our legs, and we're gonna have our abs core. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax, breathe. Stationary forward lunge is the last official legs today. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, go. Stationary forward lunge. Remember, I've already fair warned you a little bit. It is a lot of muscle. It can irritate joints. Your muscles have gotten tired. It's your 10th consecutive minute of legs. So focus on those stationary forward lunges. A lot of quads on your stationary forward lunges. So if you did the wall sit or narrow squats, this would be considered a superset. 2 or more exercises in a row involving the same muscle group. And of course, they've evolved and call them compound supersets now, but when I grew up, supersets were chest, 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 back, 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 back. It's not bis, tris, quads, hamstrings. Keep going. 3, 2, 1, relax and breathe. That was 10 consecutive minutes of legs. You have done more in workouts. It's just how we did them. All right, take a big deep breath. We're gonna do the opposite movements. Again, we'll have done 2 sets per muscle group, upper body, the different motions. We've gone through them all the last couple weeks. So you'll be laying on something for your chest flies 20. You're gonna be doing your trap rows, right? We're gonna be doing shoulder raises. We're gonna be doing hammer curls, and we're gonna do overhead triceps, okay? 20 is the number. When that gets done, we're gonna do the same 10-minute circuit of abs and core, and we'll start with our planks and we'll adjust, right? Here we go. Lay on something, ground ball bench. I don't mind if it's a little bit lighter than what we did the other day. I don't mind a touch of pace, right? That's not a green light for hauling booty. Okay? I don't mind a touch of tempo. 20 chest flies. We did fly press on Wednesday, pull over press on Wednesday, so you might feel these muscles. You did curl press on Wednesday. Of course, Wednesday was a power outage, so maybe you didn't get them done. That would be your homework assignment this weekend. 20 chest flies. I want to be a little bit ahead of you. You'll have your 20 trap rows. We're going to do our shoulder raises preferred today, not upright rows, because that's similar for your trap row. Anyway, get low, stay low. 20, get low, trap rows. And of course, the shoulder raise is more for the deltoids, upper traps, versus doing the upright rows, which is deltoids, upper traps, arms. 20 trap rows. Breathe and focus on your 20 trap rows. And again, I'm trying to be a little bit ahead of you. After your 20 trap rows, you have a choice of front raise and or lateral raise, and you can totally mix up your 20 raises. You could do 10 of each or 20 of one, or mix them up as you wish. Either lateral raises or front raises. Breathe and focus on your 20 shoulders. Remember, you might feel a little armsy and handsy, so it's okay to slow it down a little bit. We've done a lot of upper body, so don't tweak anything today on this workout. Lateral raises is middle deltoids, upper traps. Front raises anterior deltoid, pec minor. A little bit upper traps. You get a little bicep tendon, right? Depends on how much exertion, force, and load you have. 20. When you get done, you've got your overhead triceps, so you can rest those pulling muscles. You pulled on your flies. You pulled on your rows. You pulled on your shoulder raises. We're going to mix in a quick push before we do the one more bicep pull. Whereas earlier we had the 3 smooth pushes and the 2 longer, harder pulls. Again, chest fly, trap row. You have the shoulder raises, overhead triceps or skull crushers. That's always an option. 20. And again, I'm trying to be a little bit ahead of you. And then you'll have your hammer curls, not your wide curls. Again, a little bit of pace is okay. A little bit of tempo is okay. But if you get handsy and armsy, right, take your time. And again, I could have eliminated that body today and had 2 distinguished different leg circuits, but I really wanted to get that type of a leg circuit in, which really eliminates doing much more. We could also focus on quads, hammies, calves, but you know me, my things. 20 hammer curls. When you get done, you want to shake off the body. You want to create your space for your 10 minutes of abs and core. And again, it'll sound and feel, it'll sound like earlier. It'll feel different because you're not doing your legs. No rush. Next up, you guys, 200 up body reps. 2 different movements per muscle group. Chest push, chest pull, lats, traps, shoulder push, shoulder pull, wide bicep, narrow bicep, shorten tricep dip kickbacks, and the overhead longer triceps. Again, all the fun education. When you're ready, I know you got a little handsy and armsy, I totally get it. You got your 1 minute regular plank. You got a elbows, toes, low plank. You got a hands, toes, high plank. Don't do your elevator planks yet. Okay, we're gonna maybe mix through those. We'll give you options. But we need to make sure the arms and shoulders can work, right? 1 minute regular plank, and you're gonna have your 1 minute of sit-ups or toe touches. Okay, here we go. Ready, set, go. Now this circuit, you're gonna hear a lot of ors, right? You're gonna do this or that, because once your abs start getting tired and your core starts getting tired, guess where it goes? It goes to your hips and your back. So I want to make sure we don't get a lot of hips and we don't use a lot of back. I don't mind good lower back, but I don't want your bad lower back. The elbows, toes, and the hands, toes, low plank, high plank, that's all about how tired your hands and arms and shoulders are from the upper body. 1 minute plank, 1 minute of sit-ups or toe touches, and I want you to focus on a nice, good, hard ab burn. Breathe, focus, work. In 3, 2, 1. Relax, breathe. Again, you don't need to go fast. Roll over. We got 1 minute of sit-ups and or toe touches. I want your abs. I don't want your hips and back. Ready, set, go. We've talked about sit-ups a million times. We've talked about toe touches a million times. You can mix up your feet, your legs, your body position. Legs can be up, legs can be down, feet can be wide, feet can be narrow. If you have the chance to lay on a different tool, round, ball, or bench, awesome. And remember, once those abs and core get tired, it becomes the opposite of the intent of the workout. Abs, core, focus. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and breathe. And again, right there, just that one round should give you a good indication for how hard the circuit can be. Round 2, I would love rotational planks, but if you can't do rotational planks, you can do regular planks and or pause on one side a little bit longer. I don't need 60 reps, I want 60 seconds of rotational planks. And they're gonna have your reverse crunches or V-ups, right? Let's get some hard abs done early. Ready, set, go. When you do rotational planks, you start in your plank position and you rotate out of your plank position. Again, preferred is that low plank. You technically turn on more body and core in a low plank. It is hard, right? I get it. High planks. I've just seen people irritate their elbows and shoulders with that. So personally, I don't like a high plank, rotational plank, even though you'll see it. There is a lot more balance on that high plank, which is why people get in trouble when they lose their balance. 1 minute rotational planks. Remember, you could pause on one side if you want to pause on one side. You'll have a 1 minute of reverse crunch or V-ups in 3, 2, 1. Relax. And again, the intent is we get our abs, core, not tired and destroyed back and hips. 1 minute of reverse crunch or V-ups and or both. Ready, set, go. Reverse crunches, right? Both legs are moving. Your abs are being lengthened by the legs moving, and your abs are contracting and pulling your legs up. Don't just move your legs. V-ups, right? We've talked about that a million times. That is that loaded, hard exercise, but it's posterior flexibility, spine, hip mobility, and anterior muscle activation. So both are good. Breathe and focus. Your abs are moving your legs via both exercises. But the V-ups, everything moving. Reverse crunches, just your legs are moving. Three, 2, 1. Breathe and focus. When you're ready, you're going to be on those elevator planks, which I talked about earlier. Hands to elbows, elbows to hands. Again, you could do regular planks if you need to. When you get done with your elevator planks, we're going to be on our sit-up scissors, please. Or horizontal scissors, we'll have both, right? Here we go. 1 minute of elevator planks. Slowly. Ready, set, go. Elbows to hands to elbows. Remember, it's okay to pause, hold that for a half count, and continue back on. You don't need to go non-stop, crazy fast, but I do request you mix up your lead hand and arm. So lead with the right for a little bit, lead with the left for a little bit. The kicker is you don't want to create momentum, right? Don't use your body. Well, you're going to use your body, right? But don't create momentum with your hips and back and legs, using your abs and your core. And remember, it's okay to pause in the low and pause in the high. You're just displacing weight, distributing weight. Three, two, one. Breathe and focus. I hope you guys are feeling this. I'm gonna be really sad if it's just me. Scissors, there's a vertical scissor, legs up and down, and then there's a horizontal scissors, legs out. 1 minute. Ready, set, go. Breathe. There is the sit-up scissor, big. There's the non-sit-up scissor, it's still big. And then there's the horizontal scissor, and that is wide. And it looks like you're in a Russian twist position or the upper part of the V upright, but you got the legs going out. That might be harder on the hips and back, whereas the scissor could get you that more concentric ab exercise, whether it's the big sit-up scissor or the not big sit-up scissor. And again, I know it's unfair, but I keep saying it. You're here for the abs and core, not for the hips and back. Three, two, one, breathe. 3, done. 2 to go. Plank swimmers is preferred. That one, low plank, elbows, toes, high plank, hands, toes. And if you need to, you can be on your prone swimmers if you really, really need to. And that would be hands and knees or laying on your stomach. 1 minute of those. And you're gonna have your windshield wipers or Russian twist, or windshield wipers or runners. Here we go, 1 minute. Ready, set, go. Again, plank position. Whenever I just say plank, I really do refer to a low plank. You can do a low plank harder on your body. You can do a high plank harder on your balance. I'm not too worried about a high plank on this exercise as much as I am on the rotational planks. Plank swimmers would be that plank position. If you need to, you can do your prone swimmers, and that's hands and knees or laying on your stomach. 3, 2, 1, breathe, work. You're almost there, you guys. I know this is hard. It's what you came here for today. Runners, you've done a million times, elbows and knees, or windshield wipers laying on your back, the lateral reverse crunch. 1 minute, ready, set, go. Runners, again, you could start from the down, have that concentric motion, right? It feels like there's more movement and contraction. You can start from the up, which has the isometric element and the eccentric component, but again, it's still labeled a concentric exercise. And then you have your windshield wipers, which will give you the spine rotation, right? The lateral reverse crunch. You have the ab, the oblique, and the core. All are good, viable options. And again, you probably thought I was joking earlier on how hard this is on your core. And so then also your abs get crushed, and then it goes to your hips and your back. So you got to be a little more mindful right now. 3, 2, 1, breathe, and focus. We have the 1 more to go. Now, we did it last week. I don't expect it to be ingrained in your head yet. The bear plank, right? You can either do bear plank taps, which is a hands, toes position like the bear crawl, and you're gonna tap, or you can be in your regular plank, high or low, and do taps. 1 minute of taps, not 100 of them. 1 minute of taps, and then you'll have your Russian twist or penguins, and that'll be the last thing you do with me today. Here we go. 1 minute. Ready, set, go. Now, it's been discussed recently. We've done it before. The bear plank, right? About 90-degree angle, your hips, your knees, your ankles. It's a harder position to hold. You could be in regular plank, elbows and toes, or high plank, hands and toes. As you do your taps, you can mix up your position as you do your taps. Abs tight, core tight. The width of your hands, elbows, toes determines how hard the position is on your taps. And again, there's that bear plank, right? And I'm super narrow. You could change the width of your feet and your hands. It is hard on your quads. It's hard on your hips, hard on your body. High planks and regular planks are still hard. 3, 2, 1, breathe and focus. Last 1 minute of the day, you either have your Russian twist, you're on your bum with weight optional, or you lay on your back for penguins. I'll show you both. Ready? Last thing, set, go. Again, weight is optional. You have the Russian twist, slow, or the iso penguins. Again, the intent is abs, core, 10 minutes. Woo! Not too shabby. Breathe and focus on the abs and core. Russian twist, big, slow, wide, viable option. And you have the penguins, abs, core, breathe. Again, a great option after all of this work. Three, 2, 1, relax and breathe. 10 minutes of legs, 10 minutes of abs and core. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but how you did it made it a lot. You have the 200 up body movements, the 2 different movements per muscle group, and you have that nice, good, smooth, a little bit of everything warm up. Remember my just request. Don't turn this thing off, run and jump in the shower and hurry to work. Take 5 or 10 minutes to stretch, hydrate, nutrition, right? Get that good food in your body, right? Do some good stuff. Even if you just lay on the floor and relax for 5 minutes, mindfulness, right? Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Friday. I'll see you guys on Monday.